Yo, my brothers, my sisters, and my ballers. Welcome back to another match day of What's Football with our fans with your favorite social football analyst, Tepiso Pizzi, aka Tebzoro. To the ballers passing by, I hope you like what you see because I surely like what I do. And make sure to join the returning ballers who continue to show me gang love and appreciation by liking, commenting, as well as to subscribe. Seeing that the international break is over, we can finally swing back into the swing of things with football. Seeing that I've also been out for a bit, I can also return now from this extended international break, with there being many developments taking place during this international break, including the major shock of Paul Pogba failing a doping test. The name Paul Pogba, when you hear that name, it just rings beautiful moments. Player with a lot of talent, player with flair, one of those midfielders you pay to go watch, an amazing footballer who continued to show us glimpses of brilliance but could never produce it consistently. During his younger years, after leaving Manchester United as a free agent to join Juventus, this man was labelled as the next Patrick Vieira, being put against names like Zinedine Zidane and Michael Ballack. He was a huge Ballon d'Or prospect, and his career continued to move up and up at Juventus under the tutelage of Antonio Conte, with being partnered by Arturo Vidal in the midfield as well as Claudio Marchisio, and having an intelligent Andre Pirlo sitting right behind them as the deeper midfielder. Paul Pogba would continue to shine at Juventus even when Allegri became the coach and helped Juventus reach the Champions League final in 2015 before losing to Barcelona. At the beginning of the 2015 and 2016 season, all eyes were on Paul Pogba at Juventus, with experienced players like Andre Pirlo, Carlos Tevez, as well as Arturo Vidal leaving for different clubs. Paul Pogba became the star player. He became the main man. He donned the jersey number 10 for the old lady in Turin. And this is where the stardom truly became evident, with him being one of the biggest footballing athletes for Adidas behind Lionel Messi. Paul Pogba shined extremely well this season, gaining major attention from Europe's biggest clubs in leading Juventus to another Serie A championship win and being the most talked about midfielder going into the Euros 2016. With N'Golo Kante partnering him in the midfield for France, we expected Paul Pogba to shine. France did shine, although Paul Pogba's performances were quite average, if we may say. They were quite moderate. Nothing bad, but nor was there anything to write home about. In saying that, he still got his big money move back to Old Trafford in joining Manchester United for around £90 million to £100 million and being coached by the one and only Jose Mourinho. This is where we expected Paul Pogba to flourish, the man who was labelled a future Ballon d'Or winner and the best midfielder in the world to come. His first season wasn't bad at Manchester United, with helping them gain a top 4 place as well as scoring a goal in the final of the Europa League for Manchester United to win, as well as also winning the Carabao Cup. Paul Pogba showed those glimpses of people expecting the player he will be in the future, but it wasn't enough for us. In 2018, or at the beginning of the 2017-2018 season, Romelu Lukaku was signed, as well as a sitting midfielder, a CDM that Pogba needed for him to shine in Nemanja Matic. And those first 4 months of the season, Man United were literally on par with Man City, with Paul Pogba shining before the injuries came in. We were not sure as to what was Paul Pogba's best position. We knew that he didn't need to be defensive, as he showed qualities of a box-to-box midfielder, arriving late in the box to score goals like Frank Lampard. He showcased the creativity of a player like Ozil in the number 10 role. He was a monster of a footballer, driving through the middle and being a major ball carrier such as a Yaya Toure. He could produce long-range passes that were equivalent to the likes of a Xavi Alonso. This man had everything in his locker to be the best midfielder. I don't know what happened, but it just never came to fruition. The moments were shown, the glimpses were always there, but were never produced consistently enough. If anything, our greatest memories of Paul Pogba are the dances off the pitch in videos and the dancing celebrations. But when he moved to play for France under Didier Deschamps, we saw the Paul Pogba we all knew. That Paul Pogba who we knew was the man. The man who wanted all the attention, and it proved to be so with him helping France claim global glory at the 2018 FIFA World Cup. He scored a goal in the final against Croatia to help France win, and all eyes were on him at the beginning of the 2018-2019 season. Jose Mourinho named him club captain, but this is where the wheels started to fall off. Their relationship went sour and just turned south. With them having a fallout, Paul Pogba was no more the captain, and eventually Jose Mourinho ended up being sacked that season. But in saying so, things turned for the best with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming in and Carrick helping him, with Pogba producing arguably his best season at Man United in terms of goals and assists in the 2018-2019 season. This is where we thought he'd kick on into the 2019 and 2020 season. Unfortunately, the injuries continued to hamper his progress, as well as the COVID-19 season. And when he came back from injury, the man who shone at Man United was the new signing in Bruno Fernandes, who owned lockdown football for Manchester United and became FPL manager's favourite midfielder to buy alongside Kevin De Bruyne and Mohamed Salah. The shadow of Fernandes was being shown, with Paul Pogba now moving into it. But we still knew the talent was there, and we continuously hoped to see it. It would continue to show in glimpses, but would never reach that level that we all expected. But when he played for France in supporting Antoine Griezmann, Olivier Giroud, as well as Kylian Mbappe, we saw the Paul Pogba we all knew. 2020-2021 was a tough season, and 2021-2022 became even tougher, with it being his last year at Man United, with us waiting to see whether he'll extend his contract or potentially leave. And the doors ended up being open for him to leave as a free agent, with him returning to the old lady in Turin, Juventus. All eyes were on Paul Pogba with his return, but the injury stayed there. And then came the allegations from his older brother with him using witch doctors. Which voodoo was Paul Pogba now bringing forward now? With there being claims of him ordering a witch doctor to curse Kylian Mbappe and having an extortion attempt. The injuries continued to follow Pogba, with him not being able to be fit for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. And when he returned to Juventus in the 2022-2023 season, we just hope to see a happy Paul Pogba. That Paul Pogba we loved when smiling, but who we knew is no more labelled and no more spoken in those conversations with midfielders like Toni Kroos or Kevin De Bruyne, who he was compared to heavily whilst in the Premier League, but in all honesty, they can't sit at the same table. It was a sour season for Paul Pogba, as well as a sour season for Juventus as well, with us having hopes that in the 2023-2024 season, seeing him train in pre-season, Paul Pogba could start off well. And he was able to start the season, with him unfortunately end up getting an injury, with him being an unused sub against Udinese. And now all of a sudden, through this international break, a new development has come up, with Paul Pogba failing a doping test. Where to now from this man who's lived a roller coaster life and had a roller coaster footballing career, basically across two clubs? The return and the homecoming to Juventus, as well as Manchester United. The man who was labelled the next Ballon d'Or winner, the next best central midfielder. We no more know where it's going now, with there potentially being a 4-year ban alongside his name. There's claims that it's the supplements that he had before the game which caused him to fail the doping test. But who knows what the truth could be. We hope to see it all unfold through time. But in saying that, the wonderful footballer who we witnessed in Paul Pogba may have his career now dead and buried. I hope to still see great signs for Paul Pogba, whether it's at Juventus, whether it's in France, whether it may be abroad. A wonderful footballer should continue to play and bring football fans to the stadiums, with him potentially producing performances consistently. But now at the age of 30, it's all now or never, and it may just be dead and buried for the talented midfielder who was once heralded and labelled as the next Ballon d'Or winner. My ballers, I hope you all enjoy this match day. Continue to be on the lookout for more match days from What's Football Without Fans, with me dropping far more consistently as I'm done with this extended international break. But until next time, my ballers, live long.